committee to order and go through the agenda now. Thank you. Right.
So this is the full agenda for the meeting, Mr. Chair, and it will be broken down on the slides throughout.
Right throughout. Thank you. Great. 331-20, declarations of any disposable pecuniary interest. Do we have any?
No, thank you.
No. Thank you very much. Apologies for absence. 332-20.
The apology I've received is from Councillor Roy Brown.
Thank you very much. 333-20, the minutes from the last meeting.
So these are the minutes that were tabled at full council, but councillors requested that they have longer to look at them, so they'll be presented at full council this month along with these minutes.
Thank you very much. Right.
Ooh, that's it, just 2 pages.
Yep. Okay. Yes, thank you. I do the committee accept these minutes as a true representation of the meeting?
Pass the
Agreed.
minutes.
Right. I think we have enough to go forward again. Thank you.
Okay. So as it says, our finance officer has started his SILCA training. So following the departure of our current ALP officer, we will still have 2 qualified officers, and there are no other changes to this. The only thing to add is talking about what councillors would like on their Teams training. I've had a couple of requests back, but if there's anything else that the present councillors would like me to put forward for that. Chris Harvey has his hands up.
Chris?
Yes, please. Yeah, I have no major issues with Teams. The only thing I can't work out is how to get rid of all the stuff when the meetings are finished. I've got 2 or 3 pages of the old conversations left on. I can delete the meeting and confirm, but I'm still left with loads of other stuff on the left-hand side of my screen.
All right, I shall add that to the list. Is there any more from councillors? I've written down about swapping to chat is causing issues sometimes.
Yeah, I do have that problem because I don't know whether you know, I've just kicked out trying to get back in again after putting chat up.
All right, wait a minute. I'll just have a look at the participant. It is showing you as back in.
Yeah, I am back in.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. There's no more hands up or comments, Mr. Chair.
Right, so we can move on to the next item.
Thank you. So, as it says, we did a confidential staff welfare questionnaire that was completed by 13 of the 17 members of staff. Yeah. And this was following a suggestion put forward during a meeting in which the chair of personnel, myself and another senior officer, and the trade union and our HR consultants were present. And this was part of our objective for this year in trying to find new ways for the councillors and officers to communicate with each other, to work better together, to improve relationships and to therefore improve output. So one of the things that they said was, particularly as COVID is a difficult time for people, that we put out a staff welfare questionnaire, and because it's confidential and people were quite sensitive about filling out the information, part of the confidentiality is that it will remain below the line, but we will bring forward the findings in general terms and act on those, and that will be reported above the lines.
Thank you. Is there any comments to that?
Not at this stage.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, we'll
Yeah, just to say that, Dennis, I do find it interesting reading, and sometimes I do find it hard because you're trying to see where the staff are coming from, and obviously sometimes we don't meet none of the staff, you know, because it's their role in life, if you see what I mean. Unless you happen to be around when they're around, you don't really have that close contact with them.
Yeah, and it's more difficult with this virus thing too, isn't it, to meet people personally. So yeah, thank you for that, Brenda. Anybody else want to comment? No, then we'll move forward to the next agenda item, which is 33420, review of budget. So, Alan?
Oh, Alan is around, but just to give you the brief summary, it does say there that the property rental income is still an issue as there's some unbilled income coming in. But I think the major point is that the budget is still achievable and that we're not expecting further variances within our part of the budget. As ever, I apologise that the budget's quite hard to read because we've got lots of stuff in our budget. But Alan is on hand. Thank you, Alan, to go into any depth on any questions that you have.
Yeah, we've all had a copy of this, so mine was a little bit better to read than this one. But is there any comments on the budget, please? No, would Alan like to say something about it? Give us a little rundown.
Thank you, Chair. I think this is probably out of all the committees, this is the easiest budget to do because some of the expenditure is a lot more constant than in the other areas. I think the projected budget does show that we're going to be okay, but I am a little bit concerned going forward, but we will address that when we do the budget for 2021-2022. But otherwise, I have no other concerns or worries to bring to the attention of members.
Thank you, Alan.
Chair, Councillor Hollis has a hand up.
Yes, Councillor Hollis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My usual question, I think it's becoming a habit really. Bad debts written off. Do we have an explanation? Will there be an explanation on what they are, please?
I can respond, Chair. We provided a little bit in terms of Unit 1 and Unit 3, the shambles.
Yeah.
So a provision was set aside for that. We had a little bit of an overhang from the market where some of them 2 monthly payers, we were uncertain whether they actually had paid or not. And when we closed the market and reopened the market, we established that they probably had paid. And I think those are the 3 major components of the bad debts written off. There is a provision, sorry, just in terms of the shambles, it's actually a provision. So we actually haven't written off anything at the moment. We've just set aside an amount in case we have to. So just to make that distinction.
Right, thank you, Alan. I knew about the market situation. It was, yeah. Okay, thank you, Alan. That's cleared me up. Thank you.
Are there any other people wanting to make comments or questions? No? Okay. Well, we can move on if to the next item, please.
Like I say, because I just finished off the last minutes to refresh everybody's memory, although it was only 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there is no changes this month. I've booked with Cloudy to do councillor teams training, and as soon as I finish today, I can go back to them with a list, and I'll get a date set up hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item, please.
No, I don't have anything further to report this meeting.
Okay, so 33720. Are there any suggestions for community engagement at this moment?
Not from personnel perspective.
Okay, right. Well, thank you very much. Moving on. Okay, 33820, exclusion of the press and public. To consider resolving that, pursuant to the Public Bodies Administration to Meetings Act 1960, the press and public be excluded for any remaining items of business on the grounds that publicity would be prejudicial to the public interest by reason of the confidential nature of the business to be discussed. Is everybody okay with that?